Hey, welcome to Living North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And this is Greg and Sheila Fawson, our producers. We got Stephan Anthony going to do our affirmations and our prayers.
Reading.
And, our reading, yeah, sorry. Well, you can pray if you want.
Yeah, you can pray.
And we have Paul Landsittel, a wonderful musical artist who's going to bless us with some songs. So let's get started by doing an affirmation. It's all the same. Let's do a prayer. The invocation, that's it. So,
yeah, that's it.
if you would join me by closing your eyes, allowing the smile on your face to move inward and touch your heart as we open up to the greatness and the allness and the isness of God, knowing that there is only one. That one life that is my life, that is Reverend Valerie's life, that is those who volunteered to help us today, Greg and Sheila and Stephan and Paul, and all of you who tuned in, or all those who later watch the rerun. It is all good. It is all God. It is all the time. So I give thanks for the rest of the day. Give thanks for the words that are spoken, the songs that are sung, and all the service that is given. Thanks for this and so much for you. Together we say, so it is. So it is. Rerun. Oh, yeah. All right. Take it over, Paul. Get me out of this.
Oh, love, take me with you, for I need to be where it's peaceful and quiet. I can hear myself breathe. Oh, love, take me with you, for I need to see what's going of you all around me. Oh, here is my heart. I surrender all desires. I'm ready now. Oh, love, take me with you. Surround me now. Hold me close and don't let go. Don't let me go.
Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Paul.
Take us with you too,
Yes.
with your love.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to do some business and we'll get back to you for another song. See you in a bit.
Okay.
Like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro, and check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org. There's lots of good stuff out there. There's the affirmations and a prayer that Stephan Anthony writes. You're going to hear this week's affirmations in a few minutes. There's also blogs that Reverend Michael writes and all kinds of good stuff. And if you add yourself to the contact list, you'll get our emails and know what's going on here at the Center for Spiritual North Metro, so you can join us.
Join us.
Today's title is, what is it? You Are Who You Be. Our guest artist you've already met, Paul Landsittel. And our reading today is from How Can I Help by Ram Dass and Paul Gorman. So
Good book.
it is a good book. And so now I think we're ready for the affirmations. So welcome, Stephan.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So good to see you this morning.
Yeah, you're looking good.
You are.
Thank you. Good to see
Where'd
all
you
of
go?
you.
There we
There
go.
I am.
Affirmations, please.
There they go.
There they are. This week's affirmations. Hope and joy spring forth from the faith and love in my heart. Every aspect of my life is a manifestation of my oneness with God. I am committed to the inner work that creates the perfect life I want to live. The inner voice of infinite wisdom guides me clearly. The world gracefully receives my gifts and talents. Creative energy flows through me brilliantly and vibrantly, and so it is. And this week's reading from How Can I Help? Our thoughts are always happening, much like leaves floating down a stream or clouds crossing the sky. They just keep on coming. They arise in the form of sensations, feelings, memories, anticipations, and speculations. And they are constantly calling for attention. Think of me, notice me, attend to me. As each thought passes, either we attend to it or we don't. While we can't stop the thoughts themselves, we can stop our awareness from being snared by each one. If you are standing by a river and a leaf floats by, you have your choice of following the leaf with your eye or keeping your attention fixed in front of you. The leaf floats out of your line of vision. Another leaf enters and floats by. But as we stand on the bank of the river and the leaves float by, there is no confusion as to whether or not we are the leaves. Similarly, it turns out that there is a place in our minds from which we can watch our own mental images go by. We aren't our thoughts, and more than we are any more than we are the leaves. If we imagine our minds are like the blue sky, and across it pass thoughts as clouds, we can get a feel for that part of it which is other than our thoughts. The sky is always present. It contains the clouds, yet it is not contained by them. So with our awareness. It is present and encompasses all our thoughts, feelings, and sensations, yet it is not the same as them. To recognize and acknowledge this awareness with its spacious, peaceful quality is to find a very useful resource within. We see that we need not identify with each thought just because it happens to occur. We can remain quiet and choose which thoughts we wish to attend to. And we can remain aware behind all these thoughts in a state that offers an entirely new level of openness and insight.
Yeah,
Wow, thank you.
That was great reading.
Really great.
and something to really contemplate.
Mhm.
Thank you, Stephan.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next
Have a
week.
great day. Okay,
Okay, bye. So, Paul?
yeah. Once again, he's the one, the only Paul Landsittel.
Whenever God shines a light on me, open up my eyes so I can see. When I look up in the darkest night, and I know everything's gonna be alright. In deep confusion, great despair, when I reach out for Him, He is there. When I am lonely as I can be, and I know that God shines light on me. Reach out for him, he'll be there. With him your troubles you can share. You can use higher power every day, any hour. Heals the sick, heals the lame. Yes, you can do it too. In Jesus' name, he lifts you up, turns you around, puts your feet back on higher ground. Reach out for him, he'll be there. Within your troubles you can share. If you live the life you love, you get the blessings from above. Heals the sick, heals the lame. Says you can do it too. In Jesus' name, he lifts you up, turns you around, put your feet back on higher ground. Put your feet back on higher ground.
Woo!
Yay, thank you.
Thank you. And thanks for playing the mandolin. I know you did that by my request, and I appreciate it. It's a nice sounding instrument.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
Paul.
we'll see you in a bit.
Okay, here we are.
Here we are again. I'm going to start out with something one of the greatest writers of all time, in my opinion, wrote from Hamlet. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing in them. I'm going to break that down in 3 parts, and I'm going to do a metaphysical interpretation of what it says. And we can do that with just about anything. We can metaphysically interpret any kind of reading to what the truth of life is. So I'm going to do that with this this wonderful statement. It was originally meant about living or dying, but I'm going to apply it to our everyday life. So, to be. If you want to be, then you get to choose living in the present. That is, you get to choose to allow yourself to become like a canvas in which Spirit can paint its thoughts through you, as you, for you, and all around you. Or not to be. Not to be is living in the world of effects, doing what others think's best for you, trying to give it your all so you can be perfect. You are perfect. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we find ourselves getting on a defense or the offense by living in effects. We got to do something now. Oh, I better not do that. So that is what I consider not to be. To be
reacting.
What?
And reacting.
Reacting.
Yeah.
Who wants to live a life of reacting? To be living a life that you are directed, you are guided by the innermost part of your being, by the soul, the intelligence that dwells within you, that spirit that only wants to love you, only wants to take care of you, only wants to have the best for you. That is to be. Not to be is becoming a seed on the wind, just being blown around anywhere, doing what this person says, doing what that person says. Making decisions from I have to's, because there is no have to's, and when you're being, there is only allowing the presence of God to flow through you. To be, knowing today is just a fragment of who you are, that you are so much more than what you think you can be. By being, you can discover what you can be. By living in the presence, by being present, by allowing yourself to just let that innermost being of you shine forward and pull you from glory to greater glory. Now, is this an easy thing to do?
Sometimes not so much.
A lot of times not so much.
Yeah.
It depends on where you are in life. And when you're challenged by things in life that may get you out of being and into the effects, reacting to the effects, then the only choice is to get back to being. And you can get back to being by stilling yourself, by quieting yourself, by knowing that you are more than this. You are not your thoughts. You are more than that.
Well, you're also not what's happening, that outside thing that's happening. That is an experience, but that's certainly not us, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to interrupt you.
So here's a challenge. It's a good practice to do. Ask this question: what can God do through me? What can God do through me? Instead of the other side, which is what can God do for me? Because when we get into thinking that God needs to do something for you or for me, then we're thinking from a lesser place. We're thinking not from the highest place of our being, but from reacting to things that may happen in your life or things that you want or you desire. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing to desire or to want. But if you're living your life from that purview all the time, then you're blocking off a greater good that exists within you, the good of God, to take you in its loving hands and give you what is needed in every given moment. And we do live in every given moment when we're being and not being. Asking this question, what can God do through me, opens up a whole new field of possibility, an infinite field of possibility. And it's not like all the time you ask, what can God do through me, and you get an instant answer, or you get all these different possibilities. All of the above can take place, because when you ask that question, you're moving to the center of your being and allowing yourself to open up, and you move outside of time and space, because in spirit there is no time and space. So know, asking this question from a sincere heart place, that you will get an answer and you will get what you need all the time. Well, so I want to move to the next part, the second part, which is whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Whether it's noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. I see that outrageous fortune as the committee telling you what it thinks is best for you. And a lot of times it's coming from fear, it's coming from not enoughness, it's coming from you're not worthy, it's coming from different places, but it's not coming from your center being. Mm-hmm. So that committee is the slings and arrows. And we want to move out of that. We don't want to be a victim of our own thoughts, because we are more than our thoughts. We are more than this, always. I like what Ram Dass and Paul Gorman said today about the leaf going down the river. Yeah. That was a good way of expressing how when those thoughts come in our head that we're not enough, or we better not do that because something bad may happen to us, or whatever it's telling you, following that down the river only keeps you in it. But letting it go through, just pass through, you're telling it is nothing. It has no power over me. It can't not have any power over me, because I have my own choice. I choose to be. I choose to be. I choose to be. So the last one, which I just kind of answered, or take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing in them. Take arms against those thoughts. Don't give them any power. Don't pay any attention to them. Just let them pass through, because they don't have any power over you. and they never have, they never will, unless you embrace them. And I highly recommend you embrace them. I want to say this other thing. When you're being in the presence, then somehow, I guess by osmosis, people around you will be raised in a certain way. And it kind of happened this morning. We had the reading by Ram Dass and Paul Gorman, and it was a good reading. So my mother has a friend. Well, she's one of her sponsees, and this sponsee has been staying in touch with her, and she was concerned that she might not see her one more time before she leaves. So she sent me this quote to read to my mother, and guess who it's by? Ram Dass.
Oh, the one we got a reading from today?
Yeah.
How about that?
She tapped into that beingness that we were today. So this is the quote: "Be still. The quieter you become, the more you can hear." Let me say that one more time. Be still. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. And there's so much good to hear within you. There's so much love that God has to give you. There's so much guidance and direction and uplifting, life-changing possibilities that dwell within you. Just be still and be. All right?
So I want to go back to the reading too, where he talks about thoughts and how they're just leaves flowing down the river, because a lot of times they don't feel that way. They feel like this is what is, this is what happens, this is what I'm being, this is the truth, this is the this, and it can sound like, okay, I'm going to share some of my challenges right now. I'm so tired. I just don't know that I can do one more thing, and yet I've always had an armload of to-dos. I can remember when I used to write them on, remember those yellow pads? I think they still sell them. I had pages and pages and pages and pages of to-do things on my yellow pad, and of course I never got them all done. And now I've moved it to the computer so that I can prioritize, and I still have pages and pages and pages. And sometimes I let that overwhelm me a little bit, because then when I get overwhelmed, I do the thing that's not due today and not the thing that is due today. And so I allow myself to get attached to those thoughts, attached to those things I have to do, attached to not having enough time, attached to how am I ever going to get it done? And then I really don't get it done. And so I was praying with my prayer partner, Jacqueline, the other day, and I said, what I want prayer for this week is I want prayer to get stuff done. I just want to get the stuff done. And that particular day, I was so focused and so clear all day long of, oh, this is the thing that's due right now. Oh, this is the next thing. Oh, this is the next thing. And I didn't allow myself to go in that spin. So sometimes what it feels like to me, as opposed to a leaf flowing down the stream that I can just watch that thought, it's more like a bushel of leaves dumped in the stream. And I'm trying to pay attention to all of them. And so I was really, I know we all know these things, and I know we teach it, and I know we practice it, and we still have things going on in our lives. And some of those things are things we don't necessarily want or would have chosen, or they're just, they're just what they are, because we're here to learn what we're here to learn, and we don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily know exactly the lessons I came here to learn. So I don't exactly know, unless I really start trying to pay attention to that thing. What is it I'm here to learn from this thing? What is it I'm here to learn from this thing? What thing is it that I can let go? So I got this bushel full of leaves, not just, not just a leaf. A leaf you can go, oh, you're nice, goodbye. The bushel's like, oh, well, there's this one, and then there's this one, and which one's the important one? And so letting the bushel go, and then, and I imagine it sorts out, and then there aren't so many. And just being in that space where when that happens, I don't know, maybe nobody else goes through this, maybe it's just a thing for me. When that happens, stop, pray, get focused, be still, understand the truth of my being, understand I'm not those things that are on my to-do list. I'm not that stuff. That's not who I came here to be. That's not who I am. That's just stuff that happens in my mind. And yes, some of those things needed to get done, and some of those things have consequences if I don't get them done. And I'm not those things, and I'm not those thoughts. And I think sometimes it's hard to remember that, especially when the things that are going on are emotional too. Because, when it's just I got to get this report done, or I got to do this thing, or I got to do that, that's one thing. And when it's personal and emotional, I think it's harder sometimes to let that leaf go and then really realize, okay, here's the situation, here's where I am in my life right now, here's the thing that's mine to, what is it that's really mine to do, and what's the rest of it that I really can let go? And getting emotionally attached to it, having judgments about what I am or am not doing, having thoughts and judgments about what somebody else should or should not be doing, that maybe it's they're causing this problem, or all of those things. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because we all have this stuff that in a perfect life we would just really do float down the river in our little canoe. And I don't think that's who we came here to be. And I don't think it's what we came here to do. And we each have a different path, and we each have a different way, and we each have different things we need to do. And so letting all those just pass without getting attached to them, and allowing that intuition which is natural, that intuition which is, I think, spirit sorting out the things, saying, okay, this is who you came here to be, this is how you came here to be, this is the thing that's yours today, and do that. And then being still again. And sometimes in the middle of it, I just have to say, hey, let's pray. And I think we all can take that time to go, wow, I'm just feeling really overwhelmed right now. What do I do? Oh, yeah, let's pray. So there's always tools, and that's what we teach here. We teach the tools. We don't tell you what to believe. We don't tell you what to do. We just teach each person the tools, should they choose to learn them, of how do we know the things that we came here to be? How do we know what's true? Because I remember when I first started taking Science of Mind classes, and the thing that kept happening when I'd read something that Ernest Holmes wrote, or I'd read something from the class, is, oh, I always knew that. I know that's the truth. I feel that. At a deep, deep level, I feel that. And I know that when I was a little kid, I used to be taught things, and I would go, no, that just doesn't feel true to me. I know that you're teaching me that, and I know that you're telling me that's the truth. No, there's something inside that's going, no, that's not it. And on the other side, when we're teaching principles that each of us can use in our lives, like monitoring our thoughts, and like prayer, and like meditation, and like asking someone else to pray when maybe it's overwhelming and we can't get there by ourselves, and what else? But using those tools, go ahead. We can sort through, for me, the bushel of leaves, and figure out in a quiet, centered way what's mine to do right now, and then what's mine to do next, and what's mine to do next, and who did I come here to be? It isn't, I feel like this sometimes, but it isn't what did I come here to do, it's who did I come here to be. And how am I being as I'm doing?
That reminds me of, it's like being in a Sinatra zone. Do be, do be, do. Do be, do be.
Right,
Always be.
right.
Forget about the do, because in the being, you'll do what you need to do. And it'll be being it while you're doing it. That makes sense?
It makes sense. Although I was brought up with do. And then truly.
And you think about that, that's doo-doo.
Truly.
Truly doo-doo.
I didn't get to play until the work was done, and the work was never done. So it's been hard for me to learn how to play, hasn't it? It's been really hard for me to learn how to play. Because the work really is never done. And so we teach these principles, we learn these principles, and each one of them applies them to our lives, applies them to our situations, applies it to who did I come here to be? How did I come here to be? What is mine to do? What is mine to do today, and what might be mine to do next week? But I don't need to worry about next week or next month. I don't need to worry at all.
No.
And I do. So for me, I have often believed those thoughts. And I can say things like, oh, I'm just so tired. I just don't have enough energy to do the things I have to do today. Well, that's what the truth is if I claim that for myself. Oh.
You know what I witnessed?
But
You saying that, but then you like doing all these things you're still doing. And you have the energy. You got more energy than I can realize. Because you never stop doing. If it isn't up at the computer, it's watering the plants, it's doing this, it's doing that. And we're a fine balance because I'm not a doer, I'm a beer. But in that balance, when she's doing something, I see how important it is to her and how much it will serve me so I can do it, get into doing. And hopefully some of my being pulls her back.
well, I do think we have a fine balance. I think that is really wonderful when we have that person that we can just fully trust to say, wow, this is what's going on for me right now, and I just need your prayer, or I just need you to just be there while I go through this thing, or
Let's go sit in the jacuzzi.
let's go sit in the oh, did I not plug my computer? You talk for a minute, the power must not be on.
So she needs to get busy doing
Did it get better?
the power.
No. Are we plugged in now? Sorry, guys. I thought I had fixed this. I think we're okay now. We almost didn't be here anymore. Speaking of being.
I want to be here. I like being here.
Too.
I like being here with all those who are watching and participating because it's a good thing. What if we had a whole group of people just being together, being who they are completely, who they were birthed to be, who they came in to be? And I think in terms of when your life is getting too busy or things are happening that you have no control over, and you're doing your duty, doing what needs to be done, just take a moment and think of it like a tenderizer. Just tenderize yourself by loving yourself, by acknowledging who you are, by acknowledging what a wonderful world this is because you exist in it, because you participated. And think about all the people whose lives have been changed because of you, because of your being, because of who you are, what you are, and how valuable you are. And just tenderize yourself, because I think when I'm truly being, when I'm truly living from that being place, I feel tender, I feel warm, I feel fuzzy, I feel loved, I feel powerful, a silent, powerful. What was that Goldsmith's book? The
thunder of silence.
The thunder of silence, yeah. Think of it in that terms, because there is a thunder to it. There is this amazing power by you stilling yourself and just being.
Well, I was thinking about what you said about things like most of what I do, not everything, but most of what I do, I'm doing it because I love it. I mean, I'm watering all these plants because I love them.
Yeah.
Because I want their presence in our home and in our lives and in our garden, because it gives me so much joy to look outside and see the daffodils and see the tulips that are coming up now and see all the other little sprouts and things, and knowing it's almost time to plant the garden. And so that's a really good example of when we're doing what we love, and when we're doing it from a place of love, and when we're doing it from that place of, this is me giving what I've got, then it's not tiring.
And it's being.
Yeah.
That is being in the doing, because she is in an altered state. She's there's just some peace about her. Well,
Oh dear.
Hello? I'm in the show.
Hey, Paul.
Hello?
Hi there.
Hold on. Hi, Paul. We just lost the Reverends. You want to play a song while we get it back on?
Sure, I'll play a song.
Great, thanks.
The Reverends are lost in cyberspace.
Something happened to their computer.
Yeah, no problem.
This is James Taylor's song called Shower the People. I don't know if this is doing or being, but it's probably both. You can play the game, you can act out the part, but you know it wasn't written for you. Tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool? One thing can lead to another. It doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't you think twice. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. Tell me what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone. Once you tell somebody the way that you can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel. It's always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. What I'd like to do to you, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Like to do to you, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will.
Thank you for rescuing us, Paul.
And Greg and Sheila.
And Greg and Sheila.
Thank you.
I have no idea what happened.
Well, the power strip you were plugged in probably didn't work.
Something. Anyway, thank
We're
you,
back.
Paul. So,
So if you would join me, silencing yourself, journeying inward to that deep reservoir of love, of peace, of harmony, of joy, of freedom, of power, creativity, abundance and prosperity, good health, right at the center of your being.
yes.
All present all the time. And as we move from the world of effects into just being, we allow ourselves to embrace these words, knowing that they send out with love and affection and healing powers, surrounding each other with this love, sending light to the world. I know for each and every person that's participating in this service today and those that may watch it later, I know right where you are, the presence of God is in all its glory, all its splendor. And as you give yourself to it, it gives itself more to you. It can never be outdone. And so I give thanks for this day. Special blessing to her, knowing that all those that are attending to her health are guided and directed in the highest possible way to find the means to heal her. And as she is one with God and we are one with God, we now touch each other, calling forth within her own healing power to respond positively to all that she's been treated for. I see good health. I see radiant energy. I see hospitals and doctors and nurses all as being behind her as she moves forward to her greater yet to be. We just send out love and light to her, knowing that we are one with her and we hold her in the highest. And for anybody else that has something they would like prayer for, in this silent moment, just state what it is that you want in your life. And together we know the truth of your being, that as it is declared, it is so, right here and right now.
That's right.
And I pass this word to Reverend Valerie.
Thank you. So I just surround us all with that light and that love and that power and that oneness and that truth, that absolute joy that is the one power, the one life, the one mind, and bringing us joy and peace and truth and harmony, abundance and prosperity and radiant health and opportunities and just all of that we need in this physical world to prosper and to spread love and compassion and joy and wonder, and just that absolute knowingness that right where we are in every single moment, in every single second, in every single thing that we're going through, there is peace and love and truth, and God is present right here and right now in every second, in every breath. And so just an absolute gratitude for knowing this is the truth of our being, for knowing that it is true for each one of us right here and right now. I'm so grateful to know this word is done in the mind of God, grateful to know it is manifesting right here and right now, grateful to know that this word is absolutely complete, and all I need to do is let it go. So I let it go into the spirit of love. I let it go into the action of the law. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. I can't remember. And so it is. And woohoo! I forgot all the other ones. Okay, it's been that kind of a day.
Yeah.
So let's do our next thing.
Yes.
So, well, you say your thing and then I'll tell people how.
Well, just seeing this as an opportunity to give to anything that you may have received from this service. If you got something that helps you through the week or put new ideas in your head, then think of us and open your heart and give a gift, because we would appreciate it. We have lots we want to do. we're getting close to having people actually here with us on Sundays, and we want to be able to accommodate them in the highest and best way, and grow and eventually have our own building. So open your heart and see what it's saying that it wants to give.
Right. So if you use Venmo, you can use that little QR code right there. Otherwise, the easiest way to give is to go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and there are a couple of ways to give there. You can give once, or you can set up a regular thing. And so we just are so grateful for your presence with us, for the donations that we get, for the knowledge that this does change our lives and people's lives. And we're so grateful for this teaching, and for Centers for Spiritual Living, and for our organization, our congregants, and those people who are with us. And we're just so grateful.
Yes. So if you would, shine your light towards the screen and repeat after me by saying, I give thanks to the Almighty God.
I give thanks to the Almighty God
for the beauty and the joy that's in my life.
For the beauty and the joy that's in my life.
For all the divine opportunities that are still to come.
For all the divine opportunities that are still to come.
I send out these blessings into the world.
I send out these blessings into the world.
Knowing that the gifts change lives.
Knowing that the gifts change lives.
I accept this thoroughly.
I accept this thoroughly.
Completely.
Completely.
By saying it is so.
By saying it is so.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
And one
So
more time for Paul?
We got another song from Paul, which I will appreciate.
Danceable song. I think we'll make it ladies' choice. Grab a partner. Here we go.
Here you go.
Sitting here in limbo. I know it won't be long. Yes, I'm sitting here in limbo, like a bird without song. Yes, there's been some resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. Sitting here in limbo, waiting for the dice to roll. Yes, I'm sitting here in limbo, had some time to search my soul. Yes, there's been some resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. I don't know where life will lead me, but I know where I've been. I don't know where life will show me, but I know what I've seen. Had my share of love and friendships. What's in the past is gone. Now this little boy is moving on. Sitting here in limbo, waiting for the tide to roll. Yes, I'm sitting here in limbo, knowing that I have to go. Yes, there's been some resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. Sitting in limbo, 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 oh, sitting in limbo. been some resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. And I know that my faith will lead me on.
Woohoo! Thank you, Paul.
Isn't limbo the thing you do under the stick?
Yeah.
Where you get down and go under the bar?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doing the limbo.
Oh yeah, doing the limbo, right.
I don't know why that went through my mind, but it did. That shows you what kind of mind I have. All right, well, I guess we're near the end.
Where are Greg and Sheila? Oh, I got stuff to say, don't I? See that? So, join us on Zoom right after this and share your ha moments. It's in the comments. So, I think that's all I have to say. Trying to benedict us out.
Yeah. So, Jamie, one last time, not one last time, one time for now, by moving back into that third place, knowing that as you embrace yourself by being, you take it into the world and change many lives. That your being here is so important for the world.
Mm-hmm.
I cherish you. I love you. I bless you. I know that this week you found that all your needs are met, that everything unfolds with peace and harmony and grace, and that all is well. For this, I give thanks by simply letting it be. And together we say, and so it is.
I forgot. We usually do that before you guys come in.
We felt lonely.
Yeah, I got stressed when our power went out. I thought I had it all set up. Well, stuff happened.
So we'll see you on Zoom.
Yeah.
All those that can make it. Love you all. Have a blessed week.
Bye.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, it was great.